again to our YouTube site, Healing Aspirations. And we're going to talk about our uncertainty about how we're doing with ourselves, with other people. You can say to yourself as a parent that, have I done right? Could I have done better? I remember a story with my mother that she had said to me, you know, Robert, and this was in her final year of life, she lived to be 92, and she said, you know, Robert, that I feel at times that I wish that I could have done better as your mother. And I said to Mom, are you pleased with how I've turned out? And she said, oh yes. And I said, well, when I came into this world, I picked, not knowingly, but I picked you and Dad in order to be able to support me in what I needed to become, which is a healer, and you were the ones I picked, that if there was somebody better, I would have done so. And then I said that, does this please you? And she said, oh yes. That she thanked me for making the compliment, and then she added, but I had good material to work with. What a lovely statement she made. She just turned it all around from a thank you into a compliment of me. Sweet. Hi, Mom. Thank you. And Dad, too, thank you for what you accomplished with me. And so I was talking with my granddaughter about this kind of thing, because she is a mother of a 6-year-old daughter, and she had mentioned to me that if there was any single issue that she thought about, it would really be, how is she doing as a mother, that there's a desire to do the best that she could with her daughter. And it's an issue. She laid out the very issue that I had with my children, that I knew that I had problems in my younger years, and in my children's younger years I had problems. I was self-centered. I was not easily able to give away what they were needed, and I thank God that my wife was there and met that need. And it was only when I got rid of my own narcissistic qualities, in some, they were now up around 14 or so, that I was able to better listen to them, be with them. And so it hit home with me. And so let's talk about it. Are you doing your best? The answer is yes. If you could do better, you would do better. If you've given over your relationship, let's say, to your children, and you say, beloved, I only want to be for my child as you would want me to be, and how you would be for me the very best that I could, and you put it in God's hands, whose business is it now of how good you are with your child? Oh, well, you might say, oh, but, well, yes, God will be a help, but, you're supposed to apply it. No, not so. You've seen in other segments of this that I so frequently remind you that you cannot do better. Your mind can do nothing. I remind you of Jesus' statement that of himself he knew nothing, and he had to depend on his Father to do it. He wasn't kidding. And thank heavens that that was caught as a statement, because if Jesus had to go to his Father and depend on Father to what to be able to do, and also to his mother, then we do too. And so we are always doing the best that we can possibly do. We're always doing that. Sometimes the best we can see still has problems about it. But who's responsible for solving the problems? Yourself? Sorry, no. if you've given yourself to God, God is healing you of all limitations, of all impediments to your healing and to the expression of love of yourself. So no matter what you're involved in, no matter what circumstance, every moment is an interaction between God and yourself, and your human mind is being slowly and gently surrendered to God, who supports you by showing you that when you do that kind of a thing, there's more of a peace and more of a quietness and an assurance that you're doing right. But even if you think that you're not, all of this belongs to God. You can't heal yourself, but you can rejoice in knowing that you yearn for the healing, which is all you can do. You yearn to be a better parent, but you can't do it yourself. Your yearning is as far as you can get, because only when God steps up into your consciousness and you feel God's way of relating, that you know now that an improvement has happened. So if I can reassure you that you're on the right track, even when you know it's destructive, God has to work on this very, very gently. You can't be knocking yourself because you simply don't know how to do it differently at this time. If your behaviors are negative, and I had very negative ones, and it caused me grief, but I couldn't get over it because I didn't know how to be able to do it. And it was only God's actions with me which improved my ability to be able to see things more extensively as God would, lovingly, patiently, always asking God at points, let me just see my child, my wife, whatever it was, my co-workers, whatever it was, only from the way you see me. That is the truth of it. And so if you want to beat yourself up, you're doing it for no reason at all that makes any sense. Because you can't change it by yourself, and God's in charge of the pace of your healing, the quality of your healing, the content of your healing. God's in charge, whether you like it or not. But maybe you will like it for my saying it to you, because it relieves guilt feelings that you just can't do it differently. You just can't, people. You just can't. And if it helps you to stop kicking yourself for not being better by knowing I'm doing the best I can, it helps. And that's rubbing off on the people that you're relating with also, that they can see there's an option to kicking ourselves. And you're demonstrating it by becoming more quiet, accepting both of yourself and then with others because of that. Hope it's helpful. Bye-bye for now.